Great. It's back. The entity. More likely, it never left. Awesome. A second shadow. Just what I always wanted. Per usual, this ghost, or whatever it is currently just an impression on my mind. A picture and a feeling combined into one, except the details are blurred, obscured by the noise and action of the waking world. Concentration is the flashlight that illuminates the shades I encounter. But I never get the whole picture until I put charcoal to paper and draw what I see. I don't want to look too closely at this shadow figure or render it into more solid shapes of black and white. I've successfully avoided doing so for 4 weeks now, assuring myself all the while that this creeper will eventually scram. I've learned the hard way how bestowing attention of any kind can invite certain spirits closer. More than that, I'm afraid that if I do sketch my sketchy tag-along, I'll discover that it's something other than a ghost. But then, isn't that what my intuition has been whispering all along? To find out if my instincts are right, well, I'll have to draw it. Cringing, I focus on the passenger seat in front of mine, tuning my ears to the hum of the Boeing jet that, like my life, carries me forward at a velocity unfelt. Night occupies the skies we fly through, and thousands of miles below, the Atlantic churns, as do the lightning-illuminated clouds outside the little window. Rain slashes the layered glass, and my mind is as turbulent as the weather. Because there's so much that I don't know. Even outside of what this thing is that's following me, or what it wants already. I don't know, for instance, what to expect at Fairfax Hall, who I'm going to have to contend with there, or what. What else? More troubling than that, I don't know what comes after this job. And that mystery, the yawning void of the whole rest of my life, well, that's scarier than any incorporeal lurker. Gritting my teeth, I fight the urge to think too far ahead. Ugh, this thing is stressing me out. I hadn't expected it to follow me to freaking England. I guess my hope had been to escape from it, like everything else. Leave it behind like an ugly sweater that I conveniently forgot. Now, though, my fear that Fairfax Hall and this spirit are linked begins to seem less improbable. Either way, the last thing I want is to arrive on the scene of this gig the way I have for most situations in life, with built-in issues. There is, after all, a lot of money on the table. Enough to keep me flush until I can figure out how to survive on my own. Enough that I can buy the name brand cream cheese. A definite plus, since I don't currently possess enough cash for a return flight. Not that I'm ever going back. To Lowood, at least. Of course, there's also the little problem that, oh yeah, I'm supposed to help clear Fairfax Hall of its skulker, not import a new one from America. The salt-and-pepper-haired man seated next to me, closest to the window, draws a sudden breath, making me jump. He has his chair reclined and his eyes shut. Envy for the rest he's getting prods my already sour mood. I had hoped to sleep on the plane before landing in another time zone, another country, another world. Steeling myself, I finally give in and glance behind me down the aisle, toward the seat that my senses, the extra ones, tell me holds my stalker. The seat appears empty, though the one across from it is occupied by a blonde woman wearing headphones. She flicks me a dirty look, then goes back to perusing her magazine. If only she knew what sat across the aisle from her. She might drop her magazine in search of a parachute. I sit forward again when the plane hits another pocket of turbulence. Usually, lurkers, the ones I choose to ignore, eventually get bored with me. For whatever reason, this one wants my attention, enough that it's willing to wait for me to acknowledge it. Is that what it's waiting for?